when from different sensors the image data is produced, then you will have to do some analysis to extract maximum information you are interested in. See, these are 4 bands of 1 degree sheet, rather it's a topo sheet. I have shown band 2, band 3, band 4, band 5. You have to know what is the data source and what are the spectral width, spectral bands for different bands, spectral information of different bands. Using these bands, you will be making a lot of things. See here, band 2. Oh, this is list 3 data. See here, band 2 is green. Band, actually, why it is band 2? For list 3, you know there are 4 bands. First band is known as band 2. First band is known as band 2. Second band is band 3, then band 4, then band 5. Why band 1 is not given the name for the first band? Because the first band, spectral range of the first band is green. Otherwise, it should be blue. First band in general, when it comes to your mind, you will think first band is blue band. But blue band, it is not, this image has not been taken. So first band is band 2, which corresponds to green zone. Second band, red band. Third band, near infrared. And a fifth band is थोड़ा सा near infrared से और right side में जाता है. So these are the 4 bands of list 3. If you have collected, if you have collected the remote sensing bands, then you can do a lot of analysis. How it is done? For students, see, by now I am sure you might have been told about the structure of data. There are 2 types of data. One is raster data and there is vector data. All those data which are written in the form of grids, and these grids have 3 information. Suppose this is one band. So you are taking this grid. So computer writes only 3 things for this grid: X, Y, and Z. X, Y means its position. Where is the position of this pixel? And Z is the energy, record of energy. If it is the sensor has recorded some energy from the ground surface, that amount of energy is written in the form of some calibrated number, because computer writes only 0 and 1 binary numbers. So to express whole thing has to be written in the form of binary numbers. So it will, on the basis of radiometric. Radiometric means how much number it can store. You can remember 1 bit data. 1 bit means 2 power 1. 2 power 1 means 2. That image, if it is having 1 bit, it can store only 2 information. 1 is 0 and there is 1. Okay. Suppose it is 8 bit. 8 bit means 2 power 8. 2 to the power 8, which is equal to 256. Most of the data you download from internet or anywhere is 8-bit data. Means it can write 256 types of data. Starting from 0, it will write 0 to 255. Total 256 हो गया. So if it is data is 8-bit, then it can write 256 characters. So if you are writing anything in grayscale, you will be writing in 8-bit. But Nowadays, some data like Landsat 8, I will be explaining later. Landsat 8 free data, OLI data, up to Landsat 7. In Landsat 7, image sensor was ETM plus, that is 8-bit data. But Landsat 8, the image sensor is OLI, Operation Land Imager. That is also freely available. OLI data is 16-bit data. It means it can write 256 into 256, which is equal to 65,000 something. So 65 plus 65,000 plus type of information it can write. So that is radiometric resolution of data. If it is 8-bit or 16-bit, means how much type of data it can write, that is radiometric resolution. So I will explain different type of resolution later on. So this is the structure of raster images. And in vector image, what happens? In vector image, suppose you have to store one line. In vector, if it's straight line, it will store only two things: xy of this place and xy of this place. Only two information it will store, and it will add a line between these 2 points. To write this, if you have to write in a raster image, you will have to take this amount of area. It has to be converted into pixels, and information for each pixel is to be written. Therefore, the size of raster images are always very high in comparison to vector. And the thing here, line is there. Here there is no line. One grid is one square. If you zoom a vector map, line remains line. How much you are zooming, line will remain line. Its thickness won't increase. So that fuzziness comes, it won't come here in vector data. In raster, after a particular resolution, its resolution will, you won't be able to see anything, it will be hazy. That is difference between raster and vector data. So all the remote sensing data, that is collected in the form of rasters. Okay, so this is the data structure. Suppose 4 bands are there. One band is here, second band below that, third one below that. There are different types of algorithms, techniques, how this data raster images are written. That is not needed to explain here. You have to keep in mind all those data are in the form of raster. Rasters are only grid pattern data, where Z value is the amount of energy, that is radiation energy, radiant energy recorded by the sensors. Okay, yeah. Then image data characteristic. You must know what type of data you are interested in, what type of data you have taken, what are the characteristic of those data. You know, radiometric data I have explained. What is the bit size? It is 1 bit, then only black and white you will be able to see, 0 and 1. If it is 8-bit, it is gray scale, light to dark. If it is 16-bit, more than 65,000 number of information you can store. So only that is radiometric resolution. Spatial characteristic. What is spatial resolution? The spatial resolution means what is the smallest part you can see using that image. High resolution means the pixel size will be smaller, means you can differentiate between two objects which are quite close to each other. Suppose most of the time by ETM data, what is the spatial resolution? It is 30 meter. It means all those information which is in the 30 by 30 grid is read as one information. So any object in that 30 by 30, if it is smaller than that, you cannot differentiate between them. Had the spatial resolution 30 meter, you could have differentiated those objects which are lying 10 meters away from each other. So spatial resolution means the ability to distinguish the smallest objects, distinguish objects from each other, the smallest objects. So most of the time it is 10 meter, 30 meter, panchromatic bands may the spatial resolution comparatively high. I will explain why. So this is spatial resolution, yeah, characteristic. Other is spectral. Yeah, you have to recall the wavelength range of that band. That is spectral resolution, spectral characteristic. If you are talking about characteristic, suppose you are taking band 1 of list 3, band, it is known as band 2. See, band 1 hai, but it is written as band 2 because it is falling in the green zone. तो कितना से कितने के बीच में it is 500 something से 600 nanometer. This is the spectral characteristic of this band 2, yeah, which is band 1 really in list 3. So what is the wavelength of this band? That is spectral characteristic. And resolution means what, how narrow is the band. If narrower the band, the resolution is higher. That is why for high-pass spectral, the resolution is very high. The width here, the width is 100 nanometers. There it may be 5 nanometers only. From 500 to 505, 505 to 510, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. The bands are very narrow. So all those characteristics are recorded in these spectral ranges. So the narrower the spectral range, higher the spectral resolution. In the same way, smaller the pixel, higher the spatial resolution. So these are 3 spectral characteristics. A 4th one is temporal. You are interested to detect the changes, you have to have higher number of bands from different time periods. Only then you can you'll be able to compare the images of different times. So that is temporal resolution. In forestry, temporal resolution is very important along with other as well, because you have to have a lot of remote sensing data temporally, so that you can detect the changes, how the forest is increasing, how is it decreasing, and other analysis you can do. Okay, then comes the I am unable to remove this strip. It is visible here. Okay. Okay. I have shown some characteristic of different data. First of all, I want to say one thing: the remote sensing data name, how it is named. Actually, remote sensing data is named on the basis of its sensor. Sensor name gives the characteristic of the data. Actually, list 3 is one sensor. It is on the platform. Yeah, platform means satellite. On which satellite it is fixed. That satellite is not important. Rather, that sensor is important. So list 3, if you want to have a very old data of list 3, you will be getting IRS1 list 3, IRS2 list 3, and now it is IRSP6 list 3. Means on different satellites, the list 3 has been put. So if you are talking about list 3 data, you don't have to bother about the platform on which it was fixed. So remote sensing data is named on the basis of sensor, like list 3 data, ETM plus. See here, ETM data, we call ETM plus data. So ETM plus is the sensor which was fixed on the Landsat 7. Landsat 7, before that it was Landsat 6, on which it was ETM. Before that thematic mapper on Landsat 5. Before that, MSS data, multispectral scanner data, that was on Landsat 4 earlier. In that way, on the basis of this sensor, the data name is held. MSS data, TM data, all these data are freely available now. In this chain, the latest data is ETM. After ETM plus, it came OLI data. OLI data, that is Landsat 8 data. The difference between ETM plus and OLI, actually they have put one ultra blue band in OLI, and the spectral resolution has been radiometric resolution has been enhanced from 8 bit to 16 bit. This is difference between ETM plus and OLI data. Spectral band C. This is the for band 1, band 2, band 3, in that way. And one band which is having a wider spectral range, that is called panchromatic band. Panchromatic band has always higher spectral zone. Okay, higher spectral width. See here, 0.5 to 0.9. From 0.5 to 0.9, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bands, band 1, 2, 3, 4. All waves incorporated in one recorder, which has recorded all the waves from here to here in the form of panchromatic band. Why panchromatic band is created? Because panchromatic band has higher spatial resolution. Why? As I explained earlier, you might recall, suppose this is the spectral, this is the pixel size of your sensor. Okay? You are recording only for band 1, you are recording only blue waves in one sensor. Okay? For second band, you are recording from the same pixels, same part of the Earth's surface, only green colors. For this sensor, other lights are not allowed to enter into this sensor, only green for band 2. For band 3, only red is allowed. Okay? So at least minimum amount of energy should be there to be detected by the sensor, and your pixel size is fixed. इतने से ही जाना है energy. So if you are decreasing this pixel size, the energy coming from this, that area may not be able to be get detected by the sensor. So it will be blank, it will be blind. But if you are taking this, all the waves from blue, green, red, near infrared into one sensor, so definitely if you are taking all the energy, 4 bands, so some part of some energy will be definitely coming, because your spectral range has been enhanced. So that same area will be able to get the sensor detected. So in that case, if you are taking even smaller area, it will be recorded. So in panchromatic bands, the spatial resolution will be high. For example, for ETM plus, the spatial resolution of other bands of the visible range and near infrared, that is 30 meter resolution. And but for panchromatic band, it is 15 meter. See, then how it can be used? You can make different color composites using these bands and merge it with the panchromatic band, so it will take the spatial resolution of pan band. In that way, panchromatic bands are very helpful, because it's their spatial resolution is much better than the other bands. See here, 15 meter spatial resolution. See, all characteristic for the bands data is given. What is the sensor? What is the swath width? Means area covering by the sensors. Then revisit time, temporal data, 16 days, spectral bands, spectral characteristic, spatial resolution, everything is given. If once you download data, apart from that data, one metadata for this data is available. That file, in that file, every information is given. I hope I am clear about this. In that way, only then you will be able to use these data. Then other is, see, Aster data. There are 14 bands. One thing I would like to say, in Aster data, its first three bands have based spatial resolution for any freely available data. It has 15 meter. Okay. Aster data is the best freely available data with respect to its spatial resolution. It is also freely available. For LIS4, they have added one panchromatic band. Uska spatial resolution is actually 5.8 meter hai, 6 meter it is written. That is LIS4. Aster data, different characteristic of Aster data is written. Band 1, band 2 in that way. You will be getting this information very easily when you search anywhere, and you can download all this data freely and with metadata where every information is given. In that way, you will be able to choose which band is to be used for what purpose. Later, you will be coming in that sections what is use of different bands.